Scary story number 9, title, School Shooter. Story begins. It was a slow day at school when I was in 6th period. My teacher didn't assign any work, so he allowed us to do whatever we wanted to do while he had a Kahoot on the projector if any of us wanted to play. My friend and I were watching videos on my phone with earbuds in, so we didn't hear the rest of the class. Everything was very relaxed until one student said that they heard a loud bang down the hallway as it echoed through the school. My friend and I took off our earbuds and stopped the video on my phone, and that is when we heard an announcement from the principal saying, "Code Red, this is not a drill. I repeat, Code Red, this is not a drill. There's an armed suspect on school grounds. Follow Code Red procedure." So all of us hid where the shooter couldn't see the door. The teacher turned the lights off, and we all had to remain silent. The high school is pretty big, so there's a chance that the threat wouldn't get close to the classroom we were in. But I can still hear him no matter how far he was, since he kept shooting his gun across the hall while yelling, "I'm going to shoot every last one of you in this fucking school. It's not fair. None of this is fair to me, and you will all burn in hell." Based on what he yelled in the halls, I now know that this was a student who goes here, and he was furious over whatever made him go on a killing spree. My friend and I were looking at each other thinking who the shooter could be. Is it someone we know? If so, are we on his hit list? After thinking this, I felt anxious because I realized that this could be my last day on Earth if the shooter came to my classroom and found a way to open the door. I was hoping my other friends didn't get hurt if the shooter was able to find a way to get in. I say this because I heard him down the hall shooting his gun again, and students from another classroom were screaming very loudly. I don't know what this meant, but the shooter may be smart and capable of breaking down doors somehow. My friend and I were both getting nervous because me and him both knew he wasn't that far away from where we were located in the school. We could hear very heavy footsteps that were coming this way. There were girls in my classroom who were crying loud enough to draw attention to the shooter, saying, "I know you're in there," while he was banging on the door. One of the girls in the classroom was stupid enough to say, "Go away," to him. Right then and there, I felt like my life was over, and everything I have ever done in my life was withering before my eyes. The school shooter stopped banging at the door and stopped to shoot at it instead. You can see bullets flying through the door and the window. He stopped shooting the door for some reason and gave up, walking away from our classroom as the footsteps started to recede. Meanwhile, a school sheriff said, "Drop your weapon and put your hands where I can see them." Then I heard one more gunshot before the code red was lifted. The school shooter was identified as Jonathan Calderon, a straight-A student who had a video of him leaked on Instagram and Snapchat exposing himself in the high school bathroom, giving himself a release, if you know what I mean. Some students recorded him doing it over the stalls without him knowing. To add to this, the student who filmed it zoomed in on his phone and he was looking at zoophile pornography. Jonathan didn't cooperate with law enforcement, so he placed a shotgun in his mouth and pulled the trigger on himself. Hence, the last shotgun I heard. Jonathan shot and killed 5 students and 1 teacher. The teacher who died was my math teacher from 4th period. Luckily, none of my friends died or got hurt since they weren't in the classrooms he went for. After the incident, the school was canceled for 2 weeks. Story ends.